So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Whiteman, and it's my great pleasure and privilege to host this weekly training for Australasia, along with my colleagues Diana Hunter and Gary Knapp. We love being here with each and every one of you. And today we're very privileged to have Dr. Steve Nugent as our guest speaker. Now, he's much loved. I can tell by the number of people that we've got here that everybody's put things aside on their busy Saturday morning to be here to listen to him live. For those of you that are new to this information, this education, our great technology and company, a big warm welcome. And I'll give everybody just a bit of Dr. Steve's background. Dr. Steve Nugent is Mantech's Chief Science Officer and Chairman of the Global Scientific Advisory Board. He has more than 40 years of experience in the area of integrative medicine. He has tested more than 6,000 dietary supplement products and formulated more than 100. He is internationally recognized as an expert in his field and has been teaching doctors for more than 30 years. He is Mantech's most requested speaker worldwide. He's earned multiple degrees, graduating with top honors at both the undergraduate and graduate levels. His areas of studies include integrative medicine, health and wellness psychology, leadership psychology, organizational psychology, neuropsychology, biological anthropology, nutrition science, and business administration. Dr. Nugent has served as president of the International Association of Complementary Medicine and as president emeritus of the American Naturopathic Medical Association. He is a professional member of the American College of Nutrition, and he was also awarded the Servant's Heart Award by Mantech Associates in 2007. Dr. Nugent is one of Australasia's favorites. He carries the heart for the health, well-being, and education of all he meets. Dr. Nugent is passionate about giving the power of wellness back into the hands of everyday people. You'll want to bring those you love and care about. So I think we can all agree, if we could see each other, we'd be nodding our heads, that there's never been a more important time to be taking care of our immune system for global reasons that we're all facing right now. So it's a very topical topic today, and I'm very excited to learn more. Again, I'll always learn something more new, Dr. Steve. So I've given you host if you're sharing your screen. I'm not sure.
I'm going to do that right now.
All right. Well, I'll go off camera and I'll be right here.
Boy, I sure hate to be having technical difficulties here, but there we go. Just had a little delay. We're getting this. Hopefully you can see the screen now, Sharon. My screen? Okay, good. Well, good morning to everyone in Australasia, all my friends down there. Gosh, I'm really missing you guys. It's been such a long time because of world events that I haven't been able to do any world travel, but we'll get things back to normal eventually. Well, this morning, we're going to be talking about Immunostart. Now, a lot of people really don't understand the value of Immunostart. They really don't know what this product is about. And I see this all the time when I'm talking with associates who will call me up and say, you know, I have this challenge and that immune challenge, and I've doubled up my ambertose. And then I'll usually say to them, how much Immunostart are you taking? And they'll usually look at me, kind of that look that you see in a deer's face when they're staring in the headlights. And they're just going, what? Yeah, Immunostart. It's called Immunostart for a reason. And the main reason is it is Mantech's primary immune support product. Now, you will learn in the next few minutes that this is our most important immune support product. A lot of people get confused at this point. They'll say, but I thought ambertose was that. Yes, ambertose does support the immune system, absolutely, without any question, clearly documented in human scientific study. And it does so in a variety of ways, but it doesn't do it as a direct immune support product. So it works indirectly by improving the communication of the cells in the immune system. And it definitely does work because we see it in our studies that the immune systems do improve. But it takes time. In some individuals, it may take even up to 6 months. Well, I tell people that they should have a bottle of Immunostart in their home. And if they have children, have several bottles of Immunostart in your home because, well, you know how kids are just always bringing something home with them, right? And all of you who are parents, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we're going to learn in the next few minutes what Immunostart really is all about. So why would we select it? Why would we use it? Why is it important? Why do I want everybody, not some people, I want everybody to have this product? Well, it's a very powerful, and I will emphasize the word powerful again, powerful immune support product. It is unique in our industry. Now, some people say, oh, well, it's a colostrum product, right? No, it's a lot more than that, which you will learn. So yeah, it has colostrum, a special form of colostrum, which we'll talk about. But it has 4 powerful ingredients, not 1, but 4. And we're going to learn about each of these 4, starting with pure colostrum. That's important. I'm not talking about milk with colostrum in it. I'm talking about pure colostrum. That's a big difference. That is a night and day difference. Okay. And I'll explain to you how that works in a moment as well. Lactoferrin. You may have heard of that. You may not. It's been in the news a lot lately. And in fact, it is such a sought after commodity that it's almost impossible to obtain. A couple of the baby food companies in the People's Republic of China found out about its immune support benefits for infants and decided that they would buy up all the lactoferrin that they could on the planet. And for, oh gosh, more than a year, nobody could get any of it because they had just bought it all up and they contracted for, future harvests of it and so on. But we have it in Immunostart. So, and you will enjoy the positive effects of that lactoferrin. We'll talk more about that. We're also going to talk about shiitake mushroom. Now, it's listed with the Latin botanical name. I'll get to that in a moment, because that's the way your TGA requires it to be done. But we'll translate this into language that everyone can understand very quickly here. And of course, the 4th ingredient is modified citrus pectin. And modified citrus pectin has immune support properties all by itself. It's also associated with detoxification of chemicals. And you've heard me talk about that if you've heard me do any presentation about our product called Ambritose Life, where we also use modified citrus pectin. And the reason it's in that formula is specifically so that it can help your body with the detoxification of chemicals. And if you don't think you're being exposed to chemicals, you better think again, because everyone who lives on this planet is exposed. There's no exceptions. And I don't care where you live. You're going to be exposed because the chemicals, unfortunately, are everywhere. All of our waterways are connected, either above ground, underground, or through rain and snow, through precipitation. But the water's all connected and the chemicals move around the planet all the time. So we need to be thinking about things that we can do to help cleanse our body from these chemical toxins. I won't talk a lot about citrus pectin during this presentation, but I just wanted to lay that out for you, that's why it's in the formulation and it's important stuff, okay? All right, so let's start with shiitake mushroom. Well, the Latin botanical name is what you see listed at the top, and that is Lentula idodes. Well, it's easier to say shiitake mushroom. Now that's the way that's what it's called in Japan. In China, and the history of the use of shiitake mushroom goes back to Chinese medicine for thousands, literally thousands of years. It's been used to support the immune system, long list of benefits involved with the immune system. And I may mispronounce this. If I do, I apologize to our Chinese associates, but I believe it is Zhengyu. And that's the way it's pronounced in that country, I think. If I'm wrong, forgive me for butchering it if I did. So this is something that has properties that are so strong all by itself for immune support that there are companies that sell just shiitake mushroom. There are products that have nothing else in it except shiitake mushroom. because it has, and by the way, shiitake mushroom is the term that's used through the most of the English speaking world also to talk about this product. So what's important in it? Well, like all mushrooms, it contains some glycans, or what are commercially called glyconutrients. Different mushrooms, by the way, contain different glycans. So not every mushroom has, you're thinking about the 8 glycans known for cell-to-cell communication. Well, no, actually there are no mushrooms that contain those 8. But there are some mushrooms that contain 1 or 2 or 3 of the 8. So mushrooms are always good for you. I always add mushrooms to my food wherever I can because it's so darn healthy, getting those extra glycans in your diet. But the main reason for using shiitake mushroom, and the reason that we chose it for your formula in Australasia, is because the primary active in shiitake mushroom is beta glucan. Now, this is a training call, and I hope that some people use this information to help introduce new people to Manatech, of course. But the purpose, my purpose, is to train you folks, to give you details so that you understand the products. Now, understand when I'm talking about things on a training call, that's so that you'll have a full and detailed understanding. You must, as Australasian associates, you must follow the rules of your particular governments. Each of your governments has their own rules about how you can talk about these products. Those rules are clearly stated in your marketing materials from the Australasian headquarters office in Sydney, Australia. So make sure that you get that material so you understand which claims are permitted for you to use when you're talking to another person. But since this is a training call, I want you to understand how you get to those claims, okay? Because the more confidence you have, the better your understanding is with these products, the more enthusiastic you are likely to be in talking with people about these products, because there has to be a reason to talk to somebody, right? It's not just, this is good for your immune system, because people will come back and they'll say things like, well, I take vitamin C or something like that, right? And so you have to have the knowledge, the detail to come back and say, yeah, well, this is way beyond that. Okay. So let's go back to the beta glucan. When we initially made this formula, which was obviously initially for the United States, we used a beta glucan, which was cultivated from nutritional yeast. It's a very common practice around the world. Beta glucans differ a little bit, only a little bit, by the food source, for reasons beyond my understanding, because I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a regulator, and I don't want to get involved in that stuff. Okay, I'm a scientist and I have my plate full just being a scientist. Okay, so I don't want to get into a new endeavor. But for whatever the reasons are, TGA decided that we couldn't use that source of beta glucan, which is accepted in almost every country on the planet. But apparently not in Australia, and I don't understand why. I don't know why. Anyway, it's not. Well, we didn't want you to have Immunostart without beta glucan, so we used a source that they do allow, and that is shiitake mushroom. Now, again, because of the rules in Australia, the way the labels have to be written, some of the things that I'm explaining to you right now, you don't see it on the label. You will see the shiitake mushroom, in fact, on your label, has to be written in the botanical name, and that's a TGA rule, and it is. But just so you know that is shiitake mushroom, or if you are a Chinese associate, it's zhengyu. I think, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, that's what it is. And I want you to know that's what it is, and that it's there to provide us with a source of beta glucan, because that's important to the total formula that we're talking about. And we used, and just so everyone understands this, we used about 400 milligrams of shiitake mushroom to extract the 20 milligrams that we needed of active to make this do what we wanted to do, so that we could keep this as close to the US formula as possible under TGA rules. Hopefully everyone understands that. And just before I got on the call, I was informed, and I wish I would have known this maybe like this morning or yesterday, because then I could have found out some information for you, but I didn't know that apparently you don't have Immunostart in stock right now. And we've been having all kinds of issues with supply chain around the world. I know you've heard it in the news. I know you've seen it in the news. You have no idea how we've been struggling with supply chain this year. But we boy, we really work hard at trying to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be, when it's supposed to be there. Sometimes it is beyond our control. There's nothing we can do. But boy, we're really working hard at it. And I mean, to the point where we've with some ingredients, because of the time frames of things going on back order or things that are just run out of inventory before we thought it would, where we will do double and triple the cost of shipping just to try and get the ingredients to the facility so we can make the products. And of course, there goes the profit. But we want to make sure that we've got the product you need as in a timely fashion as it possibly can be. So just want everyone to know that we're working very, very hard to do this as best we can. Now, beta glucan it does a lot of stuff. Okay, so it isn't just what we're talking about here for immune support. Beta glucan actually connects through quite a list of pathways through the system, always for immune support. And the reason that we wanted beta glucan in the formula is because it is known to activate immune receptors in your mouth. Now, why is this important? Well, we think that it's important to alert your immune system that the good stuff is about to get down into the stomach. So you're in the process of chewing your Immunostart tablet. The beta glucan now is making contact, or it's making signals, if you will, as polysaccharides do. So it's making signals to your immune receptors, and the signal says, immune system, wake up, get alert, get ready for a start, because colostrum and lactoferrin are coming your way right now. And that's how we got the name Immunostart, because it helps to start your immune system even before you've swallowed the colostrum, the lactoferrin, the IgG, the things that we'll be talking about here in the next few minutes. That's pretty cool. And our competitors don't do that. And I think that by itself is a really strong advantage for this product. All right, let's talk more about the colostrum, because the colostrum really is the main ingredient in this product. Its main purpose is delivering this particular colostrum. This colostrum is not milk with colostrum in it. It's colostrum. This is pure. This is certified pure colostrum. Now, you might say, well, other companies say that. Other companies say lots of stuff. So let me explain to you how this works. Colostrum is pre-milk. It's not milk. Now, because it comes from the mammary glands, then most people think it is milk. It's also white. So, oh, well, it must be milk, right? It's not milk. Colostrum is made in the blood and then secreted through the mammary gland, whereas milk is made in the mammary gland and secreted through the mammary gland. So it's not a dairy product. It's not a milk product. Colostrum is a blood product. This is the most important immune factors that your body can make that are being produced in the blood and then delivered through the mammary glands. So understand, it's not milk. It's not first milk. It is pre-milk. Most of our competitors, if you go on their sites, you're going to see their website, you're going to see something to the effect of colostrum is the, quote, first milk taken in the first 72 hours after birth. Well, that's not true. Colostrum is not milk. It's not first milk. And it is taken in the first 6 hours after birth. So here's what happens. In that first 6 hours, you have pure colostrum, no milk. From 6 hours to 72 hours, you now have milk with colostrum in it. So if a website is selling you a product that says it is first milk taken in the first 72 hours, either they have the real stuff and they don't know what they're talking about when they do the website, or they're giving you milk with colostrum in it. Usually they're giving you milk with colostrum in it. All right, so I just want you to understand, we're talking about certified pure colostrum. Big, big difference. All right, why is it important? You know, people have been using colostrum for thousands of years. We know that farmers have been using colostrum for various types of immune challenges, not just for their children, but for adults, you know, for centuries and centuries and centuries. Now, of course, no one knew what was in the colostrum that actually was helping people with their immune systems, but they knew it helped with their immune system. And once they discovered that, it's like, oh, well, you're not feeling well? Well, we're going to get some colostrum for you from the cow tomorrow morning. Well, this is the whole concept here, that we're using something which is natural. There's no chemicals involved. There's no synthetics involved here. It's a natural source of vitamins and minerals. It contains natural growth factors, which is also very important. And of course, it contains something called IgG, immunoglobulin G. Well, colostrum has 3 to 4 times more protein than milk. Again, colostrum is not milk. Okay, 2 different things. And the IgG is the important thing. So let's talk about the 5 immunoglobulins. Right, in the human body, there are 5 immunoglobulins. IgG is clearly, definitely, without question, the single most important immunoglobulin. There's just no question about it. You also have IgA, and just to be clear for you, all of the immunoglobulins are important. They are all important, and they all have particular functions. One of our competitors talks about how their product helps to produce IgA, and that's good. That's a good thing. It's not as good as IgG, not even a fraction as good as IgG, but it's still good. It's a good thing. So it's not a bad thing to do that if someone chooses to buy that product. So IgA is found in fairly small amounts. It's localized for localized antibody protection on mucosal surfaces. That's pretty much what IgA is about. IgM is a major immunoglobulin, and it's found on the surface of immature B cells. IgD is also another trace antibody found in serum or human blood. Serum simply means blood. And it's also found on the surface of B cells. IgE is found in pretty low concentrations in human blood. Again, it has its own functions. So all of these have their own functions, but only IgG, immunoglobulin G, is found in all of the fluids in the human body. Not some, all. Whether it's your tears in your eye or your saliva or name a fluid, okay? I don't have to name them all. And you will find IgG. Well, then it must be pretty important stuff if the body naturally puts it in every fluid of the body. Well, of course it is. In fact, it represents somewhere between 70 and 75% of the total of immunoglobulins in the human body. Why? Because it is the single most important immunoglobulin. Some of the IGs, the immunoglobulins, will only work towards one type of immune challenge or another. IgG works in all areas. So it has antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. It has all of these different properties. And without IgG, you can't utilize vitamin C. And so I started this call by saying, somebody might say to you, well, I take vitamin C. Oh, really? Well, do you know for sure that you have sufficient quantities of IgG being made by your body to make sure that you're properly utilizing your vitamin C? The immune system has 5 steps, and I wrote a blog about this on drnugent.com, which you're welcome to read. It's free. You can go read the 5 steps of the immune system. You'll see it. And an article about vitamin C. So it says, vitamin C, do you need it? Okay. So check that out. Read that in the interest of time this morning, because I can't go through all of that and also do all of this. So what you'll learn is that IgG is what's used to make that vitamin C do its next step in the immune system that you need. This is something when I'm doing trainings, and I'll very often get someone who will, in a live audience setting, someone during a question and answer period might say, well, I don't want to take this and that and this and that. And, why is there more than one thing that I have to do? It's kind of like the children's connect the dots game, where, you try and make a picture by connecting dots, right? Well, if some of the dots don't connect, then the picture isn't complete. And that's the thing with nutritional biochemistry. If some of the dots don't connect, your nutritional biochemistry and function is not complete. So vitamin C, super important. Absolutely. You want to make sure your body needs it. Your body can't make it. And that's why it's called an essential nutrient. Scientific definition of essential nutrient is something that you must have, but your body cannot produce on its own, okay, or produce through conversion either. So vitamin C is super important. But if you don't have your IgG, when that vitamin C wants to do that next step in the immune system, well, it's just not going to do the step right. So IgG is crucial. I often have people, and I understand why they ask it. I used to sometimes, get a little insulted when someone would ask the question I'm about to say, because I would think, why would you even ask me that question, right? And somebody will say, is this safe? And I'm thinking, no, we like to make products to kill our customers. It just is something we do for fun. I mean, really, why would somebody even ask me that question? Well, let me give you an example of just how safe IgG is. Okay, there's 5 immunoglobulins, right? Only one of the 5 can cross the placental barrier. Now, crossing that placental barrier, that barrier is crucial to protect the child. Crucial isn't even a strong enough word. So if your body has a mechanism to allow you to have an ingredient cross the placental barrier, that means that that ingredient is as safe can get. And only IgG, the other 4 immunoglobulins, cannot cross the placental barrier. Literally, IgG is the most important immune factor from the time of conception through the time of birth and literally throughout the rest of your life. IgG is super, super important. I can't emphasize it strongly enough. Having said that, you might wonder, why the heck did he spend all that time on IgG? Why does that matter? Boy, it matters. It matters because the colostrum that we provide for you contains IgG, and this formula also promotes the production of even more IgG. Recently, I had someone ask me, because of a challenge that they were going through, well, could Immunostart help with my white count? All right, when your doctor says white count, he or she is talking about a list of white cells. So there isn't one kind, there's several kinds. And generally speaking, again, you can find this in a blog on drnugent.com. But generally speaking, these white cells, the most important of these white cells, if you're responding to a challenge, is going to be neutrophils. And we know from scientific study that IgG increases neutrophils in response to a challenge. Okay, now that's extremely important if your body is under challenge of some type. Okay, so, and I'm saying this in a very broad general sense because IgG is helpful literally in all of those immune challenge areas. All right. And again, this is just known from good science that's already been well studied, well documented, and well supported. So that's why I've spent so much time on IgG, because the colostrum in this product contains IgG. Now, I want to emphasize again, this is not milk with colostrum in it. It's colostrum. Okay, big difference. So weakened version, strongest version, which is why I've used the word powerful more than once about this product. This is, Immunostart is a powerful and unique product. If you have an immune challenge, the first thing you should go to is Immunostart. In fact, a member of our senior staff, we were having a conversation about this the other day, and even our CEO, Al Bala, once he learned about this product, and I spent a lot of time educating all of our senior staff about our products. Once he learned about it, and he did have a challenge, and he got some of it, he found it to be astounding. I mean, it was a question of just using the product one time for a challenge. He sold for life. It's just that simple. And he tells everybody that he keeps a bottle of Immunostart on his nightstand. So I think we've sold him on Immunostart for sure. This is a product that, if you use this product and when it's needed, you will probably be loyal to the product for the rest of your life. It's that good. And I think you can tell how enthusiastic I am about this product. All right. So we've already talked about the fact that it's been used in many cultures throughout history. We're going to address the dairy milk question again because, I guess it just, I'm just going to, because we're friends on this call, I'm just going to release a little bit of my frustration here. You know, I work so hard to talk to people about benefits and features, and then sometimes we have people that just sort of dominate. When we're in the big, open in-person area where we have Q&As going on, and there'll be somebody that just wants to dominate the things with what they perceive as problems or, potential issues and so on. It's like, didn't you hear anything I just said? What a frustration that is sometimes. Well, let's just try and address some of that. So once again, what you're looking at now on the slide right now is just reinforcement of what I've been saying about how important IgG antibodies are found in all bodily fluids, and why, if you are challenged, you want to promote the production of IgG and you want to reinforce the amount of IgG. That's super important. Ambertose can't do that. Ambertose does so many things, and nobody loves Ambertose more than I do. But we have this product, Immunostart, for a reason. Okay. So we don't just want to make products for no particular reason. It has to be there for a reason. All right. Let's talk about lactoferrin before we move into the whole, dairy and dairy allergy questions and all that stuff. Okay. Lactoferrin has been pretty well studied, but it hadn't really made the popular media until more recently. So that most of the general public didn't know anything about it, because if the popular media doesn't talk about it, then most people just don't know about it. Okay. Lactoferrin is found in colostrum. But you can also extract lactoferrin from milk. So to be fair, to those companies that have products that are mostly milk with colostrum in it, there'll be some lactoferrin in there. But if you have colostrum, there's going to be a lot more lactoferrin in there. All right. And the lactoferrin is super important. Now, lactoferrin is often described as an iron binding molecule. Why? Well, because it is. But what they want to tell you when they say those words is that this particular molecule, lactoferrin, has the ability to bind itself to certain metals, particularly heavy metals. So in the US, in the beginning, we used to talk about this as supporting heavy metal detox. There was a change in the laws in the US, so we quit saying that. The product hasn't changed, right? But you can't say that. I don't think that you can say that in Australia. I don't know the regulations in Australia about it, but I don't think you can. Once again, this is a training call, not a sales call. So I want you to make sure that you check with Australasian headquarters in Sydney. They've got printed material and stuff printed on the website. It's already there for you so that you know what you are permitted to say when you're representing a product, when you're selling the product, okay? But I want you to know when you look up lactoferrin on the internet, as people will do these days, right? And it'll say, lactoferrin is an iron binding molecule, and people will go, what the heck does that mean? All right, well, now you know what that means, all right? And you will find lactoferrin, again, in many fluids of the body. In fact, really all the fluids of the body, even including bile, as you see on the slide right now. Bile is super important for your health too. It sounds awful, I know, but it's very, very important that your liver produces bile acids in the right amount at the right time. It's really important. Lactoferrin is really a first line of defense for your body when you have some kind of immune challenge. It's extremely important. And you want to have as much of that lactoferrin in your bloodstream as possible when you're having an immune challenge. And, you know, some would argue that it's a good thing to have in your bloodstream every day. Now, I personally take Immunostart every day. When I got in the habit of doing that, when I started international travel, and, you know, back in those days, I would typically travel to a meeting where there'd be at least 1,000 people in the room. And there's, you know, hugging and handshakes and kissing and all kinds of stuff going on. And I found that I needed to make sure my immune system was very well supported every day. I got in the habit of doing that, and I still do it. And you're going to find that Immunostart has a very pleasant taste. In fact, for some people that like the taste too much, they want to eat too many of them. You know, you're supposed to you're supposed to follow the label directions on these, but sometimes they taste really good, and people love them. I remember when I launched a different product in Australasia at an event in Australia. We launched the GI Provalence product then, and there was a member of the Australian staff who he liked the taste. He liked it a lot. So he ate the whole box of 30 sticks and then asked me if there was a problem. He didn't think about it because he was just enjoying himself. And I just said, well, not intended to be 30 a day. So maybe you won't want to be too far away from a toilet today. Otherwise, you'll be fine. But sometimes when this stuff tastes really good, it's like, oh, it's so tempting to, oh, 2 tasted really good. Maybe I could do 4 or 6 or 8 or 10 or whatever. So we make our recommendations that are on the label for a reason. So we hope that you'll try and follow those. Now, staying with lactoferrin for a moment. Lactoferrin can be derived from any milk derivative. It obviously is in colostrum, and it's in colostrum in very significant amounts, okay? More significant amounts than you'll find it in milk, because it's an immune thing, right? And milk is providing you with lots of things. It's providing you with vitamins and minerals, and it's providing you with protein and so on. But colostrum is all about immune function. That's And that's why you're going to find more lactoferrin in colostrum. You can also derive lactoferrin. You can extract it from whey, as an example. So it's pretty darn good stuff. So lactoferrin is really very high in colostrum, quite a bit lower in milk, as I mentioned. And lactoferrin also contains IgG. Lactoferrin contains IgG antibodies. That's very, very important. And the lactoferrin, just like the colostrum, is known to promote healthy levels of neutrophils, those very important white cells, those white cells that are literally your first line of defense with an immune challenge. So you want those neutrophils to be at healthy levels whenever you have a challenge. And we know then from scientific study that lactoferrin will do this, and colostrum, as I mentioned, will do this. And you have the benefits of both in Immunostart. Now, I mentioned modified citrus pectin, of course, a little bit in the beginning. Why is it called modified citrus pectin? All right. Well, the citrus you get, and you see the picture of the lemons there, we will extract our citrus pectin either from lemons, limes, or oranges. It's really the same pectin. And what is it? Okay. When you, if you were to peel an orange, and try and visualize this, okay? So you're going to peel an orange, you've peeled it off here. Now you're going to look at the inside of the peel of the orange under a bright light. And what you see is it looks like there are sort of strands of fiber, okay, on the inside of the peel. If you were to open those strands of fiber, which of course would modify it, okay, that's where the word modified comes in. So if you were to open those strands of fiber, what you'll find inside is long chain polysaccharides. And of course, all of the Manatech associates on this call, you all understand polysaccharides. You know, this is a good thing, right? There are all kinds of health benefits that we can talk about with polysaccharides for hours. All right. So you take those out, and now you've got these long chain polysaccharides. You have now modified this in a way that it can be digested by a human being, because human beings don't digest the peel of oranges and limes and lemons. Can't do it. Now there are some herbivores, there are some plant-eating animals who can do that, but humans are not capable of doing that. So if we want the benefit of the citrus pectin, then we have to modify it. But you will also find that citrus pectin is used to thicken food. So there are different types of food, you know, jellies and various different foods that it is a very safe and natural way to thicken a food. So that's done that way too. But it has been discovered that these polysaccharides, of course, are associated with healthy immune support, and they're associated, as I mentioned early in this call, with your body's ability to detoxify synthetic chemicals. And that's extremely important. So think about it. You have the colostrum, which is actual colostrum, okay, not milk with colostrum in it. It's real colostrum. And our colostrum is drawn and purified through a very painstaking process. This is not like some big factory operation, okay? This is a very painstaking process to ensure that the colostrum you get is the best colostrum you can possibly be provided with. So you have that, and of course the lactoferrin, and of course the shiitake mushroom, which is providing you with the beta glucan, and that's where the name Immunostart comes from. That's to help start your immune system by signaling those immune receptors in your mouth before you've even swallowed the rest of this fantastic material in the Immunostart product. Okay, so that's why it's called Immunostart. I had a conversation with some marketing people the other day, and they were saying, maybe if we change the name to Immunoboom, more people would buy it because they would think it's more powerful. Well, whether you change the name or not, it's the most powerful immune product that we have. And maybe they should change it to Immunoboom. I don't know. I'm not a marketing person, but so you have that, and of course the modified citrus pectin. So you have 4 different ingredients which make this immune support product unique, safe, natural, powerful, unique. It's pretty amazing stuff. All right, let's talk a little bit about dairy, because somebody is watching this webinar right now and they're sitting there saying, I can't use this product because I'm allergic to milk. Somebody's saying that. And I know because I've done this presentation or a similar presentation, a few hundred times. So I know what's going to come up. All right. Let's talk about the difference between being allergic to milk and being sensitive to lactose. There's a difference. Most people don't know there's a difference because, they just haven't heard of this information. All right. Casein is a protein found in milk that causes milk allergy. So people that have a true allergy to milk are allergic, not to the milk, they're allergic to the casein in the milk. As you see on the slide, there is no casein in Immunostart. Still, because of the rules and regulations and all that stuff, we have to say, if you believe you're allergic to a product, consult your physician, and you and your physician can make a decision as to whether or not you want to take the product or not. Is it possible that some trace amount of milk could get into Immunostart? I suppose it's possible. Anything is. And allergies are serious. A real allergy. I'm not talking about sensitivity. I'm talking about real allergy. Allergies are serious. You must take them seriously. And if you know you have an allergy, then talk to your physician before you use the product. Okay. And I hope I didn't minimize that in any way. You need to do that if you know you have an allergy. But I want to assure you there is no casein in this product. All right. That's the allergen in milk. But then there's lactose sensitivity. That's a different thing. You see, lactose is a sugar that's found in milk, and there's a small amount of that same sugar in colostrum. Okay. Lactose is a sugar. Sugars have to be broken down with enzymes. The enzyme that breaks down lactose is called lactase. In fact, it's really simple. If it's a sugar, the word ends in OSE. If it's an enzyme, the word ends in ASE. It's pretty simple, right? Okay. So then, we know that human beings in every genetic group, I don't care what your race is, or where you're from, what language you speak, in every genetic group, human beings are genetically programmed to produce the enzyme lactase up through the age of 24 months. And then in some cultures, they produce it their entire lives. But this does vary by race. After 24 months, it does vary by race. Okay. So then, why is this the case? Because colostrum, and especially mother's milk coming from her breasts, to make the milk taste good, to make it sweet, there's lactose in there. And the infant will produce lactase to break down the lactose. Okay. Why 24 months? Scientists believe that because all of the races have the same genetic program to produce lactase for 24 months minimum, and some races don't produce much lactase, I'm sorry, and most races don't produce lactase after 24 months. They believe that women should be breastfeeding their children up to 24 months because that appears to be a genetic program. I know some of the ladies are saying, easy for you to say, because you don't have to do it. Well, hey, I understand. You have my sympathy. Obviously, I can't give you my empathy, but I can give you my sympathy in that area. I'm just telling you what science says. Okay. So it appears that humans are supposed to be having mother's milk for the first 24 months of their lives. Now, some genetic groups, Europeans in particular, Europeans, people of European ancestry, especially Northern European ancestry, because Italians appear to be left out of this group, and we don't know why. But people of Northern European ancestry tend to produce lactase, that enzyme, through their entire life. Okay. Now, all of us produce less enzyme each year as we age. All of us do. Okay. And I mean enzymes of all categories. Whereas the Chinese, as an example, after 24 months, most Chinese are not producing lactase to any worthwhile degree. And of course, dairy is not a big part of the Chinese traditional food chain. So whereas in Norway, as an example, the Norwegians, dairy is so common that the fewest people with lactose sensitivities on the planet are Norwegians. This may simply be biochemical adaptation over the centuries. It may simply be that and nothing else. The point is, some of you are going to produce enough lactase and some of you will not. If you consume something with lactose, which is 12 grams or higher, as you see on the slide, then you can have cramping, diarrhea, I mean, terrible cramping, like bend over in terrible pain cramping. But understand the amounts we're looking at here. The amount of lactose per tablet of Immunostart is 0.0148 grams. Less than 0.0148 grams. That's almost non-existent. I mean, it's pretty tough to measure, okay? Whereas the World Health Organization says, if you're going to have lactose sensitivity symptoms, it's got to be 12 grams or higher. So compare those two numbers. You're looking at the screen right now, compare the numbers. So yes, there is a very small amount of lactose per tablet in Immunostart, but it's really small. Is it possible that someone can be so unbelievably sensitive to lactose that 0.014 grams could give them, discomfort, gas, diarrhea? Well, I suppose it's possible. Is it probable? Statistically, it's highly improbable. But anyway, I give you those numbers so that you know, and then you know to make your own decisions on that, okay? So once again, I personally take the product every day. You may do whatever you wish, of course, but definitely use this product if you have an immune challenge. And remember, IgG is the only one of the immunoglobulins which is designed to respond to all immune challenges. So I would make sure that you have a bottle of this product in your house. And again, if you have a bigger family, we'll have more of it. And let me tell you what, in almost every case, not 100%, obviously, taste buds are different from one person to another. You're always going to find somebody that says, oh, I hate the taste. But the overwhelming majority of people are going to chew one of these tablets and they're really going to like the taste. And so will the kids. And so you got to make sure that your kids don't sneak the whole bottle on you, because they really taste good. I personally like the taste a lot, but I have run into a person now and then who says, oh, I don't like the taste. Well, I don't know what to tell you. That's a taste we're doing because we're not going to put any synthetics in it to make it taste different. Okay. So that's just the way that's going to work out. So folks, I don't care what kind of challenge you're looking at. If your immune system needs support, you need Immunostart. Remember, helps to start your immune system before you've even finished chewing that tablet to swallow the colostrum, the lactoferrin, the citrus pectin, the beta glucan. And this is a product that every home should have, every home. So take your Ambertose, absolutely everybody, every day, for a wide variety of reasons, not just your immune system. But when you have an immune question, the immune answer is Immunostart. Well, that's all I have so far here. So I'll give this back over to Sharon.
Dr. Nugent, just awesome. Lots of our community having lots of fun in the chat as well,
Oh, really?
celebrating all this. Yeah, celebrating all this. One question, is there any significance to the change in advice between chewing and sucking the Immunostart?
Yeah, since this is a trading call, I'll explain the details, okay? Now, I wouldn't do this on a sales call because, again, I don't know what the rules are in Australia, so I don't know what they allow, okay? But here's the fact of what happened. This product was designed as a lozenge. And I can't remember what year it was now, but one of our previous regulatory directors was alerted to the fact that there was an American company that claimed that their zinc lozenge could cure the common cold. Well, of course, nothing cures the common cold. Okay. The FDA, that's the American version of the TGA, the FDA came down on them like a hammer. And I mean, they were just in all kinds of trouble, paid all kinds of big fines and stuff. And our regulatory director at the time said, oh my gosh, we better take the word lozenge off the label just in case. So we took the word lozenge off the label and changed the verbiage to chew tablet thoroughly. And we've never changed it back. I just had this conversation, in fact, with our senior general counsel, our legal counsel, just a few days ago. And like, why can't we fix this? And of course, she was not on board all those years ago. And said, well, I've got to read all the rules and stuff. And okay, good, read the rules. But it was designed as a lozenge. And why?
Okay.
Keep the beta glucan in your mouth as long as you can. That's the idea, right? But so that's the story behind why it changed and why the label hasn't changed back.
Those good old regulatory issues.
Regulatory
Can't
stuff.
wait till there. I can't wait till there's honest regulatory in the future.
Gosh, I'm telling you,
Ethical regulatory.
Every day, Sharon. Every day.
Yeah, I know. It must be so hard for you guys. But anyway, we appreciate all the hoops you jumped through to bring us technology in Australia that, you know, we have one of the toughest regulatory environments in the world. And I don't know, I can't probably compare it to China or Korea. They could be advanced, who knows? Anyway, God bless you, Dr. Nugent. Thank you so very much. And for everybody today, next week is ACON, so we won't have a training call. The following week, we'll be gathering, celebrating everything ACON. Dr. Nugent, have a wonderful weekend and bless you for all you do for us.
By the way, I'm going to do something for you folks at ACON. I'm going to make a recording. It's to be determined yet, but there'll be a recording on some new product launch or bundle launch or something. We'll see. But so I'll see you on video. Anyway.
Just a tease, everybody. Just a tease.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Dr. Nugent. Thank you so very much for being here. We really love and appreciate you. Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.